Hey everybody, this is Pat, and in this episode, the first full day of my cross-country road trip, I meet up with the legendary Larry Mays and his famous one-of-a-kind Prowler. But on my way into Indiana to meet up with Larry, my Prowler had its first mishap of the trip. Good thing I had brought my jack to get the wheel off and remove the caliper cover. Well, I had the first problem of the trip on the very first day. I had to pull this thing off. It started rattling. It took me a while to find the problem. And one half of it came off, and that's why it's all scraped up, because it was scraping the inside of the front wheel. So I got that off. Still trying to make it to Larry's. Gotta get out of my way. I lost about an hour and a half, but was able to get back on the road on my way to see Larry. Finally made it, so I'm recording now. Wanted to get this set up here before you start taking everything off here.
Well, I was wanting to get it uncovered and be able to move it real quick. I haven't had the Cadillac's first thing that's been taken out of the barn this year. So
now all those things are on there. Is that to keep the mice out?
Supposed to.
Yeah.
So far I've been very fortunate, and I really didn't want to leave it sitting here. But I didn't have much choice, and I was hoping to have gotten things rearranged a little better.
So how many miles are on this now?
43,000.
Only 43,000. So
basically I haven't been able to use it the last 5 years or so.
Really? Okay.
And when we went to CJ's and met you there in Clare, I knew that was going to be the last trip we could
probably
take.
the last long trip you could take. Yeah.
Any trip, basically.
Any trip, yeah.
And so now it's just, it sits. I try and run enough gas out of it so I can put fresh gas in it in the winter.
Yeah.
I drove it the last 2 years, probably maybe 150 miles 2 years ago, and last year about 120 miles is all I drove it.
Wow.
So,
yeah, you've got the same issue with the stabilizer links here that mine had.
I've got
when I got it. That's still the originals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the rubber covers from Tony.
Yeah.
And I just haven't put them on.
Yeah, I got the ones from Spoons that you've seen him advertise. I got those like right away because when I saw mine, I thought they were going to fall off. So
no, it's
I didn't
cosmetic.
know that. Well, I know it's cosmetic, but I didn't know that, and so I'm like, I was worried about it.
Just
so I
cosmetic.
Yeah.
And so I never even really looked at mine. Even when I ordered the covers from Tony, I didn't. But I have something new coming. It's at the house, and my plan is I'll probably order Spoons, so dress it up a little more. And that's all it is. It's not a real improvement. It's just dressing it up.
Okay.
So is it worth $140 dress it up? Yeah, probably.
Well,
when you spend
when I saw it, I didn't realize that was superficial. I figured that would be something that it could come off and it would start rattling around and be a problem like that. So
not like your caliper cover.
No. Yeah, when I took the thing off, it was banged up a little bit. I mean, it was scraped up pretty. I'll show it to you in a little while, but it was I'm glad that's all it was. Me too. My first excitement for the trip. I hope the last.
It's gonna be a long drive if
Yeah.
Now, did you have any shake afterwards?
No. So I did what you suggested. I mean, I went ahead and got to the next exit. I got off and I retorqued them. And you're right, they already loosened up a little bit. So I retorqued them down really good. And I'll probably check them again here before I leave, just when we're double check. I don't have a torque wrench. I've got one of those big crosshair, things there to yank on it. So
I'll get my torque wrench out and we'll actually torque it.
Okay. Well, why don't we do all four then? Because I don't have it. Well, the thing is, I have a torque wrench at home, but it never worked right on mine. I couldn't get them into the, it couldn't fit into around the lug nut. Or I shouldn't say, well, not so much around the lug nuts, but just because of the way the wheels and the fenders and everything are, things were running,
you got to have an extension.
I don't have the extension, so it was hard to get it maneuvered in there. So I would just do my best guess on them. But yeah, if you've got a proper torque wrench, probably wouldn't be a bad idea for me to do that.
But as you can see, I've got these stuck everywhere.
Yeah.
And
has that helped?
I've never had an issue.
Well, that's
so does it help or not?
That was my next question. Have you ever had any mice? And you haven't yet?
No.
Not yet.
And it's been stored over here, and we have mice, we have a mice issue. We're in the field.
Oh, yeah.
But normally it's over here on my lift.
Okay. No, on the lift. Okay, let's see what we got here.
And the reason we got this lift was when I got the car, so I could get up in the air and clean it. Because the bottom of it I used to clean just like I did the top.
So are these your cars too?
Yeah.
So what are these?
This is my 67 dark convertible, and this is the 81 Imperial that my mom got new when she was, Mom and Ken run this business, and Mom had a therapy department here, and that was her company car that she got October 21st of 1980. That car has 15,400 miles on it.
Wow. A little dark in here. I probably can't. It's actually coming in pretty good on the screen here, so maybe you can see it. But
my Dart, I built it sitting right here. And you know, when I was talking to you on the phone, everyone said, "How you don't get out?" Because they see this wall.
Oh, well, you're right. I didn't even realize that there's a wall here.
Like, hey,
so it's been here since before this wall was here.
The wall moves.
Oh, the wall moves. Okay.
It's just a big moving door.
Oh, okay.
The whole side opens up.
Oh, wow.
It's on a track just like the outside doors.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
So
for a minute there, I thought this had been here so long that they just built something around it and it's been stuck here.
No, I built it sitting right here.
When you say you built it, so you mean so when did you buy this one?
93.
93. So was it in not running condition when you got it?
No, it was running, driving. I took it all apart, put it all back together.
Just because you wanted.
I'll show you pictures.
Okay, but it's just to fix it,
or
was
a 6-cylinder automatic car.
Okay.
Watch your step. Everything. I mean, this is a booby trap. I don't have to worry about too many people getting in here. And, for one, they aren't. Now I scratched the.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can only lift this hood so far with that there.
I scratched the back one time when I went to open it, and.
These are back in the day when you don't need to release it inside.
No.
Wow.
It wasn't latched anyway.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's a 40 over 340, and I've got 4-speed. It's pearl white paint. The engine's indigo blue is actually what it is. You probably won't be able to see a color because of it. It looks black.
Yeah.
But everything, like in my grill that would have been blacked out, all the trim that would have been blacked out is indigo blue, and the stripe on the back of it is. And I can send you some still pictures if you want some stills.
If you have some stills of it not under cover and all that, that'd be great. I can include that in here.
But I took it apart in 95, and then I got it back together in 2005. And actually, my shakedown miles on this was at the Woodward Dream Cruise.
Okay.
Instead of going up and I was trying to get it done for Mopar Nationals, which is the week before the Dream Cruise. I was putting the motor back in it for the third time that week. I think it was third time. No, second time. So I didn't get it done for Mopar Nationals. I got the motor set in on Sunday. Monday I finished it all up. Tuesday I took it and had the air conditioning charged. Wednesday I brought it back, put it in my trailer. Thursday we headed to Detroit for the Dream Cruise. And there's pictures of me with all the Prowlers at the hotel there in Auburn Hills. And there's pictures. That's the year we went to MSX and seen all the concept cars. And I got a real good picture that Larry Bell took of this sitting there with all the Prowlers.
Okay.
So
yeah, if you have one of those photos, send them away.
It turned out pretty good, and it was in Mopar Muscle magazine in December of 12. Watch your step.
Yep. You're right. Yeah, there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah. So, but this, and I'm wearing special clothes today.
Okay.
This is the shirt I had on the day I picked the car up.
Wow. Okay.
And I recreated the picture from where I picked the car up a couple of years ago. I got the car out for the anniversary of buying it.
Okay.
And I put the shirt on, and I looked at the picture from where I was at the dealer.
Yep.
I had a pen in my pocket. I had black tennis shoes on, jeans.
So you try to recreate it right down to
every
detail.
Had on. So I wore my black tennis shoes. I put a pen in my pocket, and the only thing is, when I took the picture, and the one out there, I can't remember if the window was up or down. And so I ended up with having one of them the windows up, one of them it should have been, and it where it should have been down, or vice versa. So.
Okay. So I think I've heard a story. I remember, because I was reading through some of the old posts on POA about, who you had to do the mural on your car, and how you came up with the idea, and the cat. I guess the cat wasn't really the way you wanted to have it done.
No.
And but you've grown to accept it, apparently, right?
Well.
Or not, maybe.
Dave Burris of Airbrushing Unlimited in Muncie, Indiana. We've been looking at people to paint the car. Now, there's stuff all in the car. There's the
oh wow, they even painted inside the door jamb.
Oh
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now the guy that painted this, Dave Burris, he was an older guy. And he painted the dash while it was in the car.
Really?
I told him, I said, I'll figure out how to get it out and we'll pull it out. And when I went up to get it, he had already painted the dash in it. And he's very talented.
I mean, that's impressive, but you could have removed the dash.
I didn't know how at the time.
Oh, okay.
Because see, I bought the car in July of '98. I met Dave in September at James Dean Run up in Fairmont. And when I met him, I'd been talking to different people about custom painting it. I didn't want it to look like your car. When I went somewhere, I didn't want it to look like a stock yellow car.
Well, you definitely achieved that.
So there's a local guy here. He's super. And he had done a buddy of mine's 33 Plymouth. And I liked how he done it. So I've got pictures of this sitting next to the 33 when it was all yellow, just like yours.
Okay.
And so that's kind of where this stripe comes from, and a couple of the other things, what I had go around the back here. This is all similar to what Bernie had on his 33 Plymouth.
Okay.
So I took it and I talked to the guy that actually did it, and I wasn't real happy with him. And you'll see a lot of hidden stuff in the paint. I think your camera's picking it up.
Oh, it's picking up. Yeah, this is pretty high, resolution camera.
For
so
years,
it'll get it.
I kept finding stuff in my paint. It's because Dave hides stuff in the paint.
Okay.
It's like all in here, and you can see the bugs and the rock chips too.
Yeah.
I need to take a
So he went ahead. So this was the original rock chip thing.
I told him,
he just pulled it. Did he pull it off, or did he just paint right over it?
Paint it over it. And I told him, I said, I want your stripes to mask into it. I didn't want him to paint it. I want him to go, to take the black and make the stripes come up into it and kind of hide it.
Yeah.
He just painted the damn thing. It's like, I could have taken it off and painted it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have too much problem until I put these tires on. And I put these tires on. We went to Pigeon Forge for the last event down there that I went to. And after I got back, and it rained really hard, there must have been sand and stuff on the road because it really chipped it bad.
Yeah.
And,
well, that's the thing. Unfortunately, now that defeats the purpose of that thing, because now
it's even in here.
Yeah. Oh, well,
here
that's where it gets bad always anyway.
But to touch it up, I take a purple Sharpie or whatever color it is, and I fill it in. And there's so much to look at on the car.
Nobody will see that.
It's not a perfect paint job.
Yeah.
And it never was a perfect paint job.
Yeah, but from a distance, nobody would. Yeah.
But back to Dave, when he painted this, I called him because he's up in Muncie. That's close to where you were at when you had your issue this morning.
Okay.
And that's why I was saying, you said you were at 35. 28 is actually takes you over into Muncie.
Okay.
I think.
It was a middle. It was a middle of nowhere as far as I could tell.
It is 332 and I think 28 or 32 goes into Muncie. Anyway, it's about an hour from here. So I'd call him. I said, Dave, how's it look? He goes, it looks wild. It's like, really? What's it look like? Oh, it looks wild. And
so did you give him any kind of? So he really just kind of came up with this design on his own. You really didn't have something drawn out ahead of time, did you?
What I did is I took the car up to him and I took pictures of Bernie's car.
Yeah.
And I said, I like this. And I've got pictures. He drew it out by hand on a piece of paper. He drew it up, went down, had it photocopied into an 18 by 24. He made 5 different sketches, and he airbrushed them and everything. On 3 of them he had completed, and on the 4th one he started, but he wasn't real happy with. The 5th one he didn't like what he had drawn, so he didn't even start.
Okay.
So when I went up there, he told me, take all these home, put them on your wall, look at them, see what you like, tell me what you like, what you don't like, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So I sent my wheels out to be chrome because this car had silver wheels.
Okay. Oh, they did. Okay.
And while it was out, you know, I'm waiting on wheels. It's sitting over there on my lift. These are not my originals. These are a second set I've had chrome.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say they look really good shape for, you know.
Well, these are not as nice as the ones in the other room that are the originals.
Okay.
Except I've got a bent wheel.
Oh.
But when I met Dave at James Dean, he was airbrushing a 66 Skylark with the picture in his hand, his airbrush in the other, and he's doing a t-shirt for the guy. And I'm talking to Sue and saying, man, this guy's good. I mean, the drawing looked just like the picture he's holding. And so then I looked behind it, and he's got a custom van sitting there. So I'm looking at the custom van, and I'm walking around, an old custom van. It'd been done a lot of years. So completely around, all the glass is etched, the custom paint all the way around. Look at the front, it's all custom painted. Then we get to the driver's side, 19 feet of mural. It had a wizard probably 4 feet high with an airbrush in his hand drawing out the universe. And it's
That's like a 70s special right there. I mean, that's one of the things you'd see, you know, back then. You never see something like that today, at least you would think. But
Dave started in the late 60s, early 70s painting custom vans.
Okay.
So you go around.
That was the heyday back then, yeah.
Right. You go around to the back. Here's Laurel and Hardy in their car on the back of his van. And so I get to talking to him, and I say, whose van is this, and who did it? And he goes, it's mine. I did it.
Wow.
He had done it for the World of Wheels back many moons ago. And he turned it into his workshop truck, had all those supplies and stuff on the inside.
Wow.
And so that's when I got talking to him. It's like, man, you know, would you be interested in doing my Prowler? And, you know, his eyes lit up.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. So.
But you realize once you do that, if he messed it up, or you don't, I mean, you had to try, I mean, once you saw the work he did, you trusted him at that point that he would.
Oh, he showed me several other vehicles he had done.
Because once it's done, it's done. And you'd be.
But he was teaching people how to airbrush.
Okay.
That was what he was doing. That's what his business was at the time. He was teaching. He was doing T-shirts and stuff. And he also occasionally do motorcycles and some cars and trucks. There's a guy on the west side of Indianapolis, Quentin. Quentin does fabulous work. But every car show you go to around here and a car that Quentin had done, you say, Quentin done that car.
Yep.
Because every custom painter has a trademark.
Right.
So
they have a certain look that everybody can recognize. Yep.
By going up to Muncie, I figured I can go to car shows. I'm not going to have anyone else that's got a car done by Dave. I was wrong.
Okay. So what started that you ended up getting this made into the it wasn't Hot Wheels, was it Johnny Lightning?
Johnny Lightning did it.
Okay, so how did that come about?
Well, in 2000, let's see, 99, we showed it here in Indianapolis at World of Wheels. In 99, we showed it again here, and I was always told how good the show was in Louisville. and it was a few weeks after the show here.
Mm-hmm.
So I told Sue, I'd really like to take Louisville. So we signed up. I go down there. The car's in that trailer. I'm pulling it with my red Dodge with a Cummins in it.
Mm-hmm.
I go up to the place to get it registered and find out where I need to park it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guy's there, and I'm filling out my paperwork, and he goes, "What you got in the trailer?" I said, "My Prowler." He goes, "Well, let me show you where I want you to park it." I said, "The guy's already told me where I need to go." Mm-hmm. And he goes, "No, we're putting it somewhere else." He had seen the car in Indianapolis.
Okay.
He made a guy move, put this at the door
Okay.
as everyone was coming in.
Okay.
So while I'm sitting there, after they made this guy move, and the guy that originally told me where to go, they were co-chairman. Bob Taylor is the one that told me where I should go, which would have been in a room full of Corvettes.
Okay. That would not be good.
And Don is the one that said, "I want you at the front door where everyone's coming in."
Okay.
So it was me, a 69 Pro Street Camaro that was on the circuit, and a 55, 56 Ford F-150 that was also on the circuit. So they had all three of our cars. As soon as you walk through the door, that's what you see.
Okay.
I had a guy from Dayton. Then he started bugging the shit out of me through the whole show. "I want you to bring that to Dayton." It's like, "No, I don't want to do another show. I want you to bring it to Dayton." So then Sue and I got to reading the rules, and it's like, okay, we've done you got to do class shows. So that down there is a class 5, biggest show. The one here was a lesser show and one that had to be done. Then you had to have a 1 and a 2. Dayton was a 1. So we decided we can pick up the points from the shows and we can put it in, because this guy really wanted me to bring Dayton. So it's like, okay. Well, I had set up, I never had it sitting out in the open. So we get to Dayton to the show there, and they're setting me up. I've already got my carpet down. We're sweeping my carpet. And the guy that bugged me down there in Louisville goes, "You mind moving?" It's like, what? "Where you want to move me to?"
Yeah.
So he goes, "Come with me." The door coming in puts me in the center of the aisle. My car's exposed all the way around.
Okay.
So I had to go to the hardware store, buy more stuff so I could get it there. So I got first in Louisville, I got first in Indy, got first in Dayton. And so when we signed up for South Bend, and Johnny Lightning playing Manus is based in Mishawaka, Indiana.
Same place where Tom is. Tom Mills, yep.
And so we went up, we stayed with Tom and Susie that weekend, and we hung out together. And so while we were there, I'm trying to get the car cleaned up, and I have this old lady come over saying, "I've really wanted a Prowler, but my husband doesn't want me to have one." It's like, really? She's got a shirt on that says "Cars of the Stars." TV Cars of the Stars.
Okay.
And I'm looking at her, and it's like, I'm trying to wax the car, get finished up. So she goes, "He wants me to have a Bentley, but I want a Prowler."
Oh, poor baby.
She goes, "Do you know George Barris?" It's like, yeah, I know who George Barris is. That's my husband.
Oh.
She went and got her husband and brought him over to show him the car.
Yeah.
Well, George was there promoting a 50 Studebaker that had been made into, I think they called it the Millennium. And so he was in a Johnny Lightning display. So I get to talking to the guy there, and I'm looking at a car and it's the wrong one. I said, "You need to hire a guy like me to tell you what the hell you got, because this is not what you're saying it is." They said, well, we know, but sometimes we have a model and we just go ahead and say it's what it is, even though it's maybe not the correct year or something.
Okay.
And then I told them, I said, you need to do one of my cars. And they said, well,
were you serious? I mean, did you think you would actually do it when you asked that?
No.
No?
No.
Yeah.
So I said, you need to do one of my cars. And he goes, what do you got? And I said, a Prowler. He goes, well, we got a Prowler mold. He goes, what's it look like? And I said, you could just barely see it across the room from where we were at. There was a monster truck next to me. So I said, you see the monster truck? See the little bit of yellow on the other side? That's mine. So he come over, he looked at it, and he goes, yeah, we can do this. And he goes, can you give me some good pictures of it? And I had a bunch in the camera, but I hadn't had developed.
Yeah.
So I
this is back pre-digital photo days. Yeah.
So I went to Walmart. I got what was developed in my camera, give him some copies of it. And it took a year from the time we talked to him until it was actually released. It was released, that would have been in February or March of 2000. And in February of 2001, they released it.
Okay.
There was about 15,000.
They made like 15,000 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
did you get any proceeds for that? No, I mean, seriously, they should have given you something for that.
They don't give you nothing.
Really? Wow. I thought for sure that you got something for that.
I did. I got two cases of cars.
Well, that's the least they could do.
And the guy that painted the car, I give him about a case of them.
Yeah.
And then I have bought a bunch. And Ed Monahan's been my best finder of them. He used to go out and find cars all the time.
Oh, okay.
And so Ed has gotten a bunch of them, and I signed a bunch of them when we were out Deadwood.
Yeah.
I was signing them, and I was numbering them until I got to where I couldn't remember what number I'd done.
Yeah. That's it for today's episode, but Larry has a lot more to share, so stay tuned for the next episode.